I just don't know when you're going live now.
Hello, everybody. Now is when we're going live.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was singing. I was singing to them. You lucky them. How's everybody doing?
Serenading.
Yeah, it was
Good,
amazing,
good.
wasn't it?
Pretty good.
You know? Everybody have a good time?
Yeah, had a pretty good week. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Good. Anybody else just recently survive a war from like a spaceship to a spaceship
No.
with nukes and stuff?
No, that wasn't really something I did this week.
Hmm.
No?
That wasn't on my schedule.
Traffic was bad on Tuesday. That was intense.
No. We shot 2 nukes and missed with both of them, because
Oh, you probably shouldn't miss with those.
But listen, I said ram the ship. That was plan A. Ram the ship. There's a lot of deliberation of trying many different things, and in the end, after all the other things failed, it succeeded. Ram the fucking ship. What? It's awesome. Ship collides at ship. Things die. Everybody was happy. Were you happy?
Are you telling me that in the end it doesn't even matter?
Oh God, let's not even.
That's too soon, man.
soon,
Come on,
man,
too
yeah.
soon.
on
Sorry.
Thursday,
Sorry.
on Thursday, somebody was talking about in Chicago there is a park called Lincoln Park that has like a free zoo there, and so there's like a suggestion that an undead character, that a vampire character for the game on Thursdays, more or less lives in Lincoln Park, and they're like, oh, if you want a really good feeding ground, Lincoln Park is the place to hang. And I was like,
Oh.
I chose not to. I left it alone. Which I suppose saying that I left it alone is not okay. It's the same as not leaving it. It's one of those. Yeah. All right. Well, that was enough wasted time. Things got awkward. I'm just gonna eat some lettuce. All right.
Yummy lettuce.
So we're here for a reason. We're here because today is, in theory, the closing of Chapter 1 for Political Theater. There's the Eberron Chapter 1. What is it? Eberron Chapter 1 Political Theater is going to come to a close. So the chapter is coming to a
He
close.
did it.
Yeah.
The name of his show.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
oops. So, anyways, Political Theater will be coming to a close in theory today, assuming things go well. So, let's just kind of recap what happened last week. 2 weeks ago, because it was a gap of time. So let's just try to do a really quick recap. Who would like to recap us, please? You know what? Luca, we'll make you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Hold on. I'm just eating something.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like Luke. Yeah.
So basically, I believe we started last week with Reich delivering a speech, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yep, Reich gave an awesome impromptu speech. We relaxed for a couple of days from the hospital. We decided to leave the hospital because we wanted to find some of, I believe, Dane's effects, right? That's what we were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, we decided to check the streets for a black market. Kieran actually found some of these effects. We did not. Don't know how she found them. She reported back that she found them. We wanted to bring them to be essentially someone was going to look over them and see if they could find out anything about them. They didn't get much. They said that there was something special about his, I believe it was an amulet or a bracelet or something. Then she took time to actually study these things and realized that there was a language in the stitching. She shared all that with us, actually. And we decided, let's go to that theater house that all the clothing was in because we need to get these clothes back. That didn't go over well because just the theater house never goes over well for us. Decided to leave there after Kieran threatened to come back. And we went to the guards. The guards couldn't really help with us. So we ended up leaving there, and Kieran threatened to come back. And then Luca, Reich and Stalborg got caught up in some bureaucracy, and that was fun.
It was very
And Luca
nice.
decided
You make
to,
it sound like we weren't enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, well, you guys
We
both
love
loved it,
pushing
for sure.
paperwork.
Yeah, it's funny because those characters actually legitimately enjoy
Yeah,
that
they were
kind of
okay
thing.
with it. Yeah, they were like, well, yeah, for Stalbort it was just a blink in time, and for Reich he was like, yes, this is amazing. Oh, I love the cogs of the city.
Just like
working.
back home.
Yeah. And Luca swallowed his pride and decided that he could ask his brother for help.
I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
We're just embarrassed.
Yeah. I stroked his ego a little bit.
Mhm. All right. Well, last thing I want you guys to recap for me before we get started with the show is, Erin, if you could please, you found those articles of clothing that had things written on them. Could you remind us what those things written on them were?
You're muted.
No, just quiet.
Very quiet.
Yeah. Why so quiet?
Yeah, you're just very quiet. I don't know why.
Why
Like
so
in
quiet?
general,
No,
or
no,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are.
Oh,
They are.
oh,
Hey,
yep, you're better.
how you doing?
You're better.
Am I better?
You did something.
All right, sorry about that.
Oh.
Where I don't. I saved it
Your Google Docs.
in my Google Docs. Yeah. What did I save it under? I don't know.
While you're looking that
Do you
up,
have it, Scott?
And
actually I do not. So while
Okay.
you're looking
and
it
the
up, because
Duchess's son is not
I lost
hers.
it.
I remember that.
That was one of them. No,
And
it's
the Duchess's son is not hers. There was some sort of coordinates of
Yep.
numbers.
well, hold on. So while she's looking it up, and thinking about it, whatever, let me just say that, just as a reminder to everybody that's out there that's watching right now, starting next Wednesday, that is this upcoming Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we are going live with our first ever Mass Effect stream. That's a Mass Effect tabletop RPG. We will be doing character creation then, and then the following week we'll actually starting the game. Almost immediately after that stream ends on this channel, we will be doing another stream at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at Ollie's channel. That's twitch.tv/Allarant, where he will be DMing a game in his own homebrew world. It is D&D 5e with some weird and not so weird alterations to the rules, because every DM has their own style, and Ollie likes to have a very creepy feel to his games. So he gets to apply that, and I get to PC in it in Undead Dwarf. Erin, were you able to find it?
I was sorry. It wasn't in my Google Documents. I was in Eric's.
Nope.
So
There you
that
go.
didn't help.
No
All right.
problem.
So number one, the
Mhm.
Duchess's son is not her own. They've another means through the lamps. 13, 17, 6. And so I've had to hide. And then last, the bear's den, the third table.
There you go.
So there you go.
Cool. So those are the hints that she's been able to find so far, and she's acquired a whole bunch of his clothing through, or will be able to acquire a whole bunch of his clothing through what was procured by the police force or whatever coming in. So let's get started. That's how last week ended, with you guys kind of running off and trying to do that bureaucracy and everything, and him being like, I'll see if I can help you in a couple of days' time. And so we're going to flash forward those couple of days. Was there anything of note that you wanted to do during that time, or meh?
We have our house now. We can just chill.
Yeah, house party. Yeah.
I think we take the chance to relax more now we're not in a hospital.
I would
Yeah,
want to cook a meal for everyone. That's what I want to do. That's the only thing I have planned.
Frank gets silently offended that everyone liked this meal much better than his.
Salmon liked your
I make you
meal.
homemade goblin food and no one appreciates it.
You didn't cook it.
Starboard liked it.
So you guys don't do anything that's of particular note
No.
or significance or
We're
whatever?
not interesting people.
Cool. So you guys are kind of like killing time for a couple of days, settling in after all the things that had happened, and now you're actually fully healed and whatnot going into this couple of days passing time. When you come out of those couple of days passing time, you are your brother Luca, which is, why are names escaping me right now? Nico, yes.
Go.
So sorry. So your brother Nico, who is a Sentinel Marshal, is going to approach you and be like, okay, you know, I can take Kieran into there to start doing her research. And so he does exactly that. He brings her down to the cell, and he's more or less like, he's a little proddy with what it is that you're looking into, but you had already made it clear last week that you had given enough information away and you're not willing to go any further. So he is going to be a little bit proddy, and I imagine you're going to rebut that. So could you just do me a favor, just because I'm making assumptions here based off of how I know Kieran has been played thus far. Roll me an intimidation check with advantage to ask him to back off.
Absolutely.
Beautiful, beautifully
Yeah.
done. That's a total of a 20. Would you like to RP that, or are you just happy with saying back the fuck off?
I'm just happy saying back the fuck off.
Okay. So, and he gets the point for however it is that it goes down. Eventually, you just kind of like left into your piece to continue looking through the clothing and seeing what you can find. You
Sounds
can
good.
roll for me an investigation check, just regular.
Okay, sounds good. One thing I would do, Scott, is I would bring the other clothing I procured to wherever they're keeping these other garments.
Thank you very much.
Less kind of leave them with the rest of it,
I just had
and not draw
That's not
attention to that
fair.
fact.
I don't have that service.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking I want ice cream, and all of a sudden, bam! It was there.
DM
So-
power.
DM powers. All right, so investigation. So you brought those things, and you're saying you're bringing those clothes there to make sure
Yeah.
that they're inside it, so they can be properly taken care of and added to the part of the investigation or whatever, blah blah blah. Right?
Kind of just being a little sneaky about it as well.
Why sneaky?
Well, because I stole these clothes from a man that I murdered.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah,
But
we
I'm
kinda
thinking,
Kinda
I'm
glossed
thinking,
over that.
that this slightly medieval society might not have the best records of keeping track of evidence like we do nowadays. So I'm thinking if I just sneak it in with the rest of the stuff, nobody will notice
There you go.
that it's been added.
Extra clothing.
Oh
Oh
man.
no.
Okay, so so you do that. You
Yep.
sneak the stuff in there, so you hopefully it kind of gets lost inside there. To sneak it in there, because it's pretty obvious that you don't mind bringing things in, but what is your method of sneaking, if you don't mind?
I'm just gonna put it in a backpack and like while I'm investigating, so I'm gonna take them out and just kind of like almost like forget them there.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully
Well,
no one draws attention to it.
Nobody's closely watching you, so roll for me a sleight of hand with advantage.
Cool. Well,
Ever the vigilant one,
Mhm.
Reich's brother, Nico.
Reich's brother?
Right, you have
Lucas
a brother
brother.
named
Ah,
Nico?
damn it,
Reich's
Luca's brother,
brother,
It's
Nico.
awkward. It's awkward, man. It's really confusing.
Nico.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I always mess up you guys' names?
Would
Probably
point
because
out
you're
that
both
these are
my
mine.
brothers IRL. He's like,
Yeah.
Kieran, well,
Yeah?
what is that you have there?
These are clothes that also have information on them. I figure should something happen to me, that the ever vigilant and amazing guards of Shard should have all the pieces of the puzzle.
It's funny as I wasn't
You-
gonna make you two, but with you slathering it on that thick, I don't know. I feel like you.
I'm being a little sarcastic about it.
Yeah,
Really.
she has to be being sarcastic. At the end of last session, she was like, I can solve this murder. The guards
Yeah,
can't.
no, I've said
Like-
that they're.
Yeah,
fucking
okay,
useless.
good. Because I was like,
Huh.
this is not in character for you.
No, I'm being pretty sarcastic about
Okay,
it.
good.
Sorry if that was,
I won't
sorry if that wasn't
penalize.
clear.
I won't penalize you for it then.
Yeah.
So you you do exactly that. You are able to look through the stuff or whatever. So here you are looking through the things, and with your investigation check of 14, several days pass without you finding anything. It's actually a little frustrating how nothing has been found so far during those several days. Now, does anybody else want to do anything during this time, or are you just kind of like happy getting back to your normal lives to one degree or another? Luca, spending time with your house, seeing if there's training that can be had there, paperwork that you can do, whatever. Reich, trying to pave the way for the new diplomatic group or whatever that's taking over this part of Sharn from your family, seeing who it is that they're sending over, blah blah blah, and Stalbor being creepy and dealing with the Underdark peoples, the black
Yeah,
market.
I would be, I'd be definitely doing all that. I would also, there's maybe a item that I might be looking for.
Sure. what?
Maybe a magical item. Seeing as I've seen this spell cast and I really like it. Mirror image, an item containing that spell of some sort.
Stalbor can make it for you for a price.
I do have the spell.
You
What
are
are you
also
buying?
holding all of our money.
You actually have access to that account. That account is set. If Stalbor ever dies, it goes to Luca.
Nice.
Well, that's good.
Wow.
So, question:
I have it written down just in case.
Are you looking for a scroll of mirror image?
No, I was looking for more of a magical item that can be reused.
Oh, like a once-a-day cast mirror image.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, why don't
That's
you
it.
roll for me? You looking for this by yourself?
You would have to bring me with you if you.
No, Stalbor would definitely be with me. This is totally a shopping montage of Stalbor and Luca.
Once again, anytime I think of like man bromance, I'm always like, I always immediately go to that Rocky. What is it, 3? I'm always like, oh man, that scene is so painful.
Oh no, I just think of Scrubs.
No, because that's a classy bromance. The Rockies splashing, running down the beach, and all that. Oh man.
That
So,
was beautiful,
Exactly.
Scott.
There's no beaches. in
Define
Japan.
classy.
That's fucking beautiful, Scott.
so anyways, moving on. You guys are gonna go shopping together. Why don't you do me a favor, Luca, and you can roll for me a persuasion check to try to like ask around, see what you can find. But Stalbor, you're gonna roll for me an investigation check to ask around in the places where you get the point.
Sure thing.
Ooh.
I mean, I'll take a nat 20.
That is gorgeous.
Take
Natural
it.
20 is pretty fucking good. You do find one, without question. You are able to find exactly what you're looking for. It's actually going to be a cloak. It's a somewhat mirrored cloak from Mirror Images. The item is in fact going to be rare, which puts it up in the expensive category. How much do you have in your bank, Stalbor?
Just under 3,000
gold.
Oh, actually,
Probably not.
you could probably actually afford it. It's going to probably cost. So the sticker price when you go there and you look at it and you find out the price it's going to be is $27.50.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that's the sticker price, obviously.
Right. There
both
needs
you
to be
guys
some
need to
negotiations to be had.
Now, where you're finding this is in a nice shop in a decent area of Sharn. Not
Okay.
in
This
the
is like an
least bit-
official enchanted thing instead of like a.
Yeah, this is definitely
black
very
market,
official.
Probably came off a dead guy.
So I'm assuming that the shopkeep would have told me the price.
Mhm.
Like he would tell me that.
We're being showed around.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
we're
what you're
being-
looking for there, sir. Yes, please come right over here. Isn't this a beautiful thing? And he actually looks at it and he's looking it over and showing it to you. And the colors for it are beautiful. It's this nice, like deep red color that's on the cloak. And as you're looking at the thing, the inside of the cloak, not the outside, the inside of the cloak has an ever so slight shimmer to it. Like at first you think it's just going to be red. But then you notice that the shimmer is actually reflecting the inside of the cloak itself. Once you put your hand in there, you can see it's all now reflecting anything that happens to be in the cloak. It makes it this weird, not because it's reflective, but this weird kind of surreal look inside the cloak
Real
itself.
quick.
Shoot.
Have fun drawing that, Ollie. Good luck.
That's not actually going to be that hard.
No, I know.
You'd be surprised.
I will. I want to when he tells us like the price and shows us, oh, this exquisite blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
I want to insight to see if that's like he legitimately thinks that's a fair price. You know what I mean? Or if he thinks he's trying to get more from me.
You go right ahead. You roll your insight. Are you good at this sort of thing?
I am good at this sort of thing, and I can add a D8 to it if I don't like what I get.
Oh, that's right. So that's
Yeah.
why you're good at this sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
you're
good
better at
insight.
weapons and stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm adding a D8 to that. Just I think
I
that
mean,
might
why
be-
not, huh?
That might be smart. So let me click my token real quick.
Okay.
I mean, 10.
I
You
mean,
Tim?
it could have been worse.
No. So obviously you understand that this man is a shopkeep,
Yep.
and he's here to turn a profit.
Sure.
He thinks it's a fair price, which is why the price is in there. You're in a decent area of Sharn. This is not somebody that's going to pull, wool over your eyes and be like, ha 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 ha, because it's decent clientele that he must have coming through here repeatedly. You don't know anything about him. You don't know anything about his shop. You're just making assumptions
Right.
based off of where it is, where it's located. It's clearly been established for a while, and this is the price that he has set. Is it maybe a bit pricey? We'll see.
Can
Yeah,
I do
alright,
an
so-
Arcana check to compare it to the spell in my spell book to see if it's legit or if it's like a weakened version or anything similar?
You know what? You're gonna have to do a detect magic to be able to compare the two.
I have a ritual of it, but I doubt I'd be allowed to do that.
No, absolutely. Luca, you're welcome to cast your ritual because it's not going to be like a crazy thing. You know what I mean? So, a detect magic ritual, I personally like. If you're doing rituals for more powerful spells, it's something as simple as detect magic. I imagine there's herbs and there's like a boiling pot and also some other things happening.
Yeah.
But for specifically detect magic, I imagine you pull just a couple of like dragon shards and you're like attuning to them and you're looking them over and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can cast detect magic then.
Go right ahead.
I
Scott,
don't need to roll, and then I can do the.
before
Yes,
we
right.
continue, we have people saying, lower the music, please.
Really? Oh. Okay. Thank
I'm
you.
trying to be quiet tonight, Scott. You know, I'm trying to be quiet.
Music is
Lower
lowered.
down low, we're relaxed.
Thank you so much.
I mean, of course, I'm sensing magic in the entire shop, and it's probably very bright. But you know,
Ah, my eyes.
So you cast detect magic and you're looking the thing over. Make your Arcana check for me, please, and thank you.
aha, a 2-stage process.
Oh, it's a beautiful Arcana check. You know that this spell is in fact mirror image. Which do you have that spell in your spell
I do,
book?
yeah.
There you go. It is in fact the spell mirror image, which is a wonderful spell. So that's what it is.
It's legitimate
So
hardware.
after like seeing that this guy, he seems like this is the price he wants to get for it.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna say, well, I'm gonna lean in and be like, just could I just have a moment with my associate, and I would want to talk to Stalbor about it.
Absolutely, sir. Of course. And he goes across the shop and he sees the garb that you wear. He sees who you are. He's not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
He does not dare to be like, I'm going to waltz you from across the way.
Yeah, like I'm gonna steal it or something,
No,
right? Yeah.
no, nothing like that whatsoever. He clearly just happily walks off to do other things in his shop while you're doing this. Just to be clear
Sure.
about that. Go ahead, Will.
Usually they watch you when you're perusing.
They do? Not me.
They watch me. Anyway, it's legitimate hardware. It will
Oh.
do exactly what you want.
That is good. That is good. The price. I know how much we have from our last work. It just seems steep. I don't know if I'm willing to pay that. Do you?
If we get a job, maybe we can afford some more rent on top of this. Yes. How much is our rent, Scott?
Yeah, Scott. We have a like nice.
Or do
little
we just not
townhouse.
worry about that?
Are we not worrying about the price or?
Scott was gonna
it
send
is.
us info.
Yeah, I was gonna send you info, but it ended up not happening.
Busy.
I can actually find it out for you rather quickly while you guys continue chatting about other less important things.
Yeah,
Like
sure
the
thing.
cloak. Go ahead.
Well,
Because
I'm
we
just gonna
don't
be like,
end up having-
well, maybe we could talk him down in price a little bit.
With magic, usually the price you get is the price you get. I'd try, but they might not appreciate it. But then again, he seems to like you, so
So
maybe
how
I
about
would come down.
how about I talk to him about maybe a more fair price, and perhaps you don't chime in, but you obviously know what you're talking about. He could probably tell you know what you're doing, and it just seems like you might have knowledge that I don't. And now that you've shared this knowledge with me, our little sidebar, perhaps he thinks that we know something he doesn't.
You've
or
consulted with your
knows.
wizard, of course.
Yeah,
you
I've
might get
consulted
a good
with my
price.
exactly. So maybe if I offer him a price, he'd be willing to haggle.
There's no harm in trying, Luca.
I agree. I was like, however, the best part of the being able to haggle, you have to know when to walk away. So, in your opinion, what's the most we should spend on this?
I mean, if you can knock 100 off, honestly, I'd be happy.
Okay.
Enchanting something like that. Enchanting fabric is always a hassle and such a powerful spell. It's worth a lot. See if you can just knock it down a little bit. I mean, don't go crazy.
Well, you start low, Stalbor. You start low.
Explains it.
Luca gives you like a smile, like I know what I'm doing.
Aaron, your
Sure.
background covers how much of your living expenses? Oh, you're not Odette anymore. Never mind.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Way to
Sorry.
rub it in.
Oh,
Whoops.
Salt in the wound.
Sorry, you killed her.
Whoops. So
Right.
it is comfortable living, which is 3 gold pieces a day, right? Or is that what it is? No, 2 gold pieces a day.
cheaper.
Time
Two a
is-
day each.
Times 30 days, times each, but it's not really times each because you guys are sharing a place together. And then
Right.
beyond that, your houses and whatnot all kind of chip in, with the exception of Stalbors, but you're just going to kind of absorb that. But it does still come down to 100 gold pieces a month.
Ah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's 100 gold pieces.
If we
a month
don't get
across the board.
if we don't get a deal, we have 2 months of rent, which is enough time for us to get more money. So it's actually fine.
We came across this money fine, and worst comes to worst, I can always go to my house and maybe ask for some.
Worst comes to worst, I can always.
Mind you, yeah, 100 gold pieces covers like basic living expenses too.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
not just rent, but like
Yeah.
eating and all that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and side things too. Like if you don't go out drinking daily, you can also every once in a while bribe somebody with a small amount of coin, like a popper. Like it's very basic expenditure of money too. But go ahead. Comfortable
I guess I would call him. I would call over the shopkeep.
Mm-hmm.
I would look.
Oh yes,
with
sir.
I'd have my
Please
soul
go.
book out.
Go ahead. Are you interested in buying this?
I'd nod and say, yes, I am. I've had my comrade here inspect it to make sure it's up to what I would consider my standards. It seems to be, though the price does seem a little high. I was wondering how you'd feel about. And you said it was originally $27.50.
Yes, 2750,
So-
of course. That does, of course, include the various taxes that Sharn does impose for the protection services that are around here and whatnot.
Agreed, yes.
All that's
Yes.
included inside there.
I understand that.
No
How-
hidden
how would
fees
you,
here at my shop, good sir. No hidden
How would
fees
you
at my shop.
feel? I imagine something like this might not move that quickly. How would you feel about $23.50?
An item like this certainly will get some moving. There are a good number of adventurers that come through this area, but
Okay.
are you saying that you don't have the 2750 to spare? Because if that's the case, I suppose we can see if there's a
Payment plan.
more equitable decision we can come together. 2350 though, that just doesn't seem fair.
What do you mean by more equitable?
Well, I mean, you're looking for to spend less money. Perhaps there's something on your person that you can trade in. If you 2350 is just not enough.
I understand that. Well, I'll think really quickly about what I might have. However, what's your best price? What is the best price you could give me?
Roll me at this point your persuasion check.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, let's hope persuasion goes well.
1.
Eight.
Listen,
Oof.
you seem like a good man, and obviously your family is very well represented. I mean, it is one of the wealthiest houses that Corvair has to offer, and they do great things to protect the Corvairian people. So for you, sir, I would be willing to sell it for $26.99.
Oh,
By the way, I just want to throw out there as an idea, Ollie, if you're not going to be using that dagger, it's probably worth quite a bit.
I was keeping it for now.
Okay.
I was actually going to
I
use it
wasn't
last
sure
night,
if
I
you-
just didn't.
Okay.
But yeah.
I would $26.99. That is not 100 off. I guess I'd look at Stalbor and I
Stalbor
shrug.
seems excited by how the 99 is meant to entice people into buying. He's sold. He's
All right.
like,
So Stalbor seems excited. Luca feels a little defeated, but he gets a little bit excited because he's treating himself, and Stalbor is excited
Yeah.
about it. It's not even that I'm excited about it right away. Stalbor is. So I'm just like,
himself.
you got yourself a deal.
I write a big old check. Let me do some math real quick.
For $26.99.
Yep.
So
Right.
You say you've got
Let's check
yourself a
first,
deal, and he's like, "Well, I'm pleased to hear that, sir. Pleased to hear it, of course." And he goes and he takes it off of like the mannequin where it's hanging from, and he brings it over to fold it up on the counter. He has it by the back of the shop, and goes to start like wrapping it up inside like nice paper and everything. Not like super frilly paper, but like nice thick, tough, almost like a paper bag kind of paper.
You could
Right.
you could move with it,
Yeah. So he starts wrapping it all up and getting it ready for you, and pushes the parcel over as you're working more or less writing a check, balancing your check,
Writing the check.
and giving it to him. And he does look and he does confirm that it has the seal, the appropriate seals. So if you are actually short in these funds and forge this, likely somebody will find you. And And he seems satisfied with the transaction. He shakes your hand and wishes you the best. May the sovereign host watch you in your travels.
Very nice.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I just nod back to him with the pleasantries. I don't really say much, but thank you and essentially have a nice day. And I get a bit of a smile on my face as we turn to walk out.
Yeah, Starbore's enjoying the concept of spending a lot of money too. That just like is
You
exciting.
get giddy from spending money.
Yeah,
We're a bit giddy.
Now, I don't want to knock off the fact that you rolled that 16 investigation check earlier, Ollie, because you had thrown feelers out there. And just nobody got back to you. So, like, probably the next day, somebody would actually get back to you and be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I heard you were asking some questions about, like, things that can, like, change the way people see things for, like, somebody has an answer for you."
No, go on.
Go on.
It's your old friends, your old friend from down below. He's got, well, let's just say you might want to go see him.
Okay, I guess I'll go. Is it which old friend is it? Is it the?
It's the one with the hourglasses, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, I'll go see him. I know where he lives.
Okay. So.
I'll take Luca too, and he can be wearing his. Well, I don't know. I'll say don't wear the cloak.
Yeah, I'm not wearing the cloak yet.
Don't wear the cloak. Okay. Maybe he can get us a deal and we can return it to the other place.
No,
What was that?
I mean, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Now you mention it. Denton.
Yeah, Denton is his name. Yep. So you go to visit Denton, and when you go to knock on the door, he is like, as you go to knock on the door, he opens the door and he's like, oh, and it's kind of like shoos you in quickly. Come.
Yeah.
When you walk into the place, you see that the table in the kitchen has a bit of blood on it. There's some equipment lying next to the table. Some, let's just say equipment lying next to the table and stuff there. His hands are clean, but like upper on his arms is a bit of blood on him and everything. And he's like, yeah, I thought you'd want to know this, Stalbor. I didn't realize at first when I was hired to do this job who I was doing it for. So I took the job, and then just like while he was here for a couple of days, I was chatting with him, and I just kind of came to realize who it is that he was talking about.
Start at the beginning, Denton.
So a contact of mine asked me to do a favor. He found a guy, brought him in for me to work on. Apparently, he kind of came crashing in from above, literally through his roof. Like, they know each other, but he came crashing in through his roof. And, Ollie, he's a damn grayskin.
Stalbor.
Ollie. Stalbor, he's a damn grayskin. Me and names today, I can't do it. Stalbor, he's a damn grayskin.
We chased a changeling out of a flying base of the terrorists, the ones that attacked the hobgoblin, the place where people meet.
Yeah. I didn't know about you chasing him. I heard him complaining about some guy like getting this nasty hit off of him and a couple of like spells and stuff going off, and like he was complaining about people, but like it didn't click until he was saying something about that group, about the hobgoblins, and then it just kind of, you guys are the ones investigating that, and his descriptions just kind of lined up, and I came to this realization that you were probably the one that he was talking about, you and your friends.
So I would kind of step up like a half step toward him.
Mm-hmm.
My hand would be on the hilt of my blade, and I'd be like, "Who's to say you're not him?"
He like looks at you, like looks you down and up. At this point in time, he has a very set demeanor, but his demeanor was changed very differently from the last time you saw him, because he was clearly like a little out of his
Right.
wits. But when
Yeah.
you step up, all of a sudden you see he just kind of like stops. He looks you down and back up and squares off a little bit. And he's like, "Need I remind you who needed my services last time you came to my door?"
So I'll nod at him and I'd be like, sorry, you can't be too careful.
I think my elfin eyes could see through the guise of a changeling.
You couldn't tell it wasn't Reich.
I didn't get a good look. So, what has he been saying?
Not much. He wasn't saying many things. You can imagine he's pretty guarded. It was when he first came to me, he was unconscious, right? Like he was just lying on the table. But it was after he was here for a couple of days that I realized that he wasn't like an unconscious person moves in their rested state, but he was moving different than you would expect. I don't know. It just seemed strange to me. So I decided I'm going to watch him, right? So I set my timers and I kept an eye and I watched him and I saw that he was not actually unconscious. He was getting up and having meetings.
He was using you as cover, I assume.
And to help him, that's his blood. They bled red. I've never dealt with those things before. Anyways, so they said things that, again, they didn't make sense to me, and I didn't care until I found out, until it clicked. And once it made sense, I went around and asked some questions. And I didn't know what the dragon's teeth was. Luca, you may roll for me a history check, normal.
Normal history check, gotcha.
Stalwart, you can't even roll.
No, I'm not. I'm another world right here.
Boom. Good thing I'm proficient.
Bam, 19.
Yeah.
Dragon's Teeth is a fairly well-known airship that that's made its way around back and forth or whatever all throughout Corvair. It's a fairly well-known airship. You would know the name. It would stand out in your mind.
Okay.
So until I found out what Dragon's Teeth was, and then all of a sudden the other things just kind of fell into place. What he was talking about, where he was saying it, it was his own little lingo, but it was locations in the city and one of the docks. And so I went and checked it out, and that dock is where it's going to be coming in, and it's where it's going to be coming in tonight, like probably entering Sharn's region as we speak.
So so what I'm trying to put together, you think he and his people are going to attack it or control it or what? You're giving me half a story here, Denton.
I don't know everything that's going to be happening. What I know is that there were other locations that he had mentioned that are in the city, and I couldn't find out much about them, but I can give you those locations if you'd like.
Please, maybe we'll be able to work something out. Either way, I think, and he looks to Luca, we should try and get to the docks? What is this thing?
Yeah. Well, it's an
I didn't think
airship.
Sean had a sea.
It's an airship.
Sharn does have a sea.
Oh.
Sharn is the portal to...
Oh, I came here on a sea.
Yeah.
That's just stupidity.
But I'll say it's an airship. But while we should probably investigate the docks, we should also perhaps we should find out these other areas to see if there is some type of connection.
Yes, we definitely give them to me, Denton. And
Denton, you
thank
heard the man.
for
Give it to him.
having my back.
Wait, give him what?
The
locations. I'm sorry. I was like, I don't know what you're asking for. So for the locations. So he's like, well, one of them is, it's the Cracked Barrel.
Okay.
It's a warehouse. It's not It's not like a bar.
Nothing interesting.
Yeah, another one's the Bear's Den.
The
Go on.
Bear's Den. Okay.
Yep. And then the last one, it's not a named location like the others. It's a well, it's like a hangout. It doesn't really have a name. It's just the way he was referring to it. I knew what he was talking about, but it's where you can get some stuff that you can't usually get from somebody like me, Stalbor.
Somewhere I would work. Okay. Rough location. And actually, gives me like the kind of area it is.
Yep, it's an area that's in like the upper cogs. That's in a nearby spot of the city.
All right, I'll thank you.
Listen, Stalbor, usually I don't give away information for free, but considering everything that's happened lately, I thought it might be a good idea that you found out about this. So don't get used to it. But it's a goddamn grayskin. I hate those things. They freak me out.
I'm starting to get the same idea. He'll tap Luca on the chest and be like, "We need to get going."
I'll nod. Yeah.
Thank
and
you,
then
Denton.
I'll kind of like we need to tell Kieran about.
Like when we leave, I will just start going back towards our.
No, absolutely. But like as we're leaving, kind of still semi in earshot of the other. We need to tell Kieran about that, and then we would walk out.
Okay.
Yes, Kieran absolutely needs to know. Then I'll probably just burst into the house as soon as possible. It's like, Kieran!
I'm probably not there.
This is before you go in to see.
Wait, okay.
Yeah, it's like nighttime now.
And I don't care.
So you're
Kieran!
What? I kind of walk down.
The changeling that got away from us has been consulting at the Bear's Den and a number of other locations and is about to attack an airship that is docking at the city as we speak. Most likely attack, might be commandeering, might have an alliance with them, but I'm assuming attacking because you told me that changelings were bad folk.
Yeah, I'll just be like,
Are
it checks
bad
out.
But they're normally sneakier than just attacking.
Yeah, it turns out...
Infiltration is usually more their style.
I don't know, but the Bear's Den was on your boyfriend's underpants, so we should really probably check out the dogs. Dragon's teeth, dragon's tail, dragon's teeth.
Dragon tails, dragon.
Third table. Scott, do I know anything about the dragon's teeth?
You get to roll history with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like your thing, yeah.
Is my thing.
Captain of ships.
History, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Advantage.
Yep, you know exactly what the dragon's teeth is. Even though it's the same check, you know better than Luca because it's your house. The dragon's teeth is an airship, yes, and it is well known, yes. Luca didn't know why though, because the dragon's teeth is one that specifically flies around high-profile people. It is a luxury ship that flies around A-list people. So whether if they be emissaries from different countries, or if they be higher-ranking members of a house, or things like that, maybe a retired adventurer that did great things in their days, but now they're old and feeble. It is like an A-list celebrity sort of cruise liner. It's very, very looking down your nose with your pinkies up kind of a place. So it is well known, definitely.
Okay. So I would relay that information and say that my guess would be assassination. With that knowledge.
Well, considering the changeling was part of Darsk, I mean, it might have been a changeling for hire. I don't know how these things work, but most things in Shana for hire. But either way, we have the information. No one else does. And you like airships?
Changelings seldomly group together, except for in the principalities with the Grey Tide. But yeah, I would say it's probably for hire.
We could prevent something terrible from happening and also tie up a loose end from the last battle.
I agree. Should we warn them?
I think we should get
I think if they're on alert,
yeah.
You say these changelings are sneaky. If they're on alert, it might throw things off and they might just delay.
Assassins get their job done even if something's on alert. Unless they're terrible at their job, in which case they wouldn't be attacking a high-ranking airship.
I'm going to throw off your mojo of RP for a second. Is Reich like in the room just like eating popcorn and
I'm gonna
watching?
assume
Well, I
Mike
wasn't
was
even
asleep.
sure I was
Yeah,
there, which
right?
is why I'm not talking.
Yeah, I
Because
was-
I
I was-
gonna go
house,
find-
yeah.
I was like, it's
I
the
was
evening
like-
at your house, Eric. Like, are you like in your own room, like edgelording by yourself with the door closed? Or are you just like,
I thought you said they were going to get Karen. I didn't think Karen was at the house, but if they're
No, we're at the house and
Yeah,
we were
at
being
the
very
house.
loud. Yeah.
yeah?
all right, then I'm going to come out. You know, my clothes on this time.
That's why it took so long. You have to put
Pants
your
are
clothes
on. Call it a win.
And as I walk downstairs, I say, not to sound like Odette, but perhaps this is something we should take to the guards.
Or we couldn't.
But
Or we could
what
go and
fun is
build it
that?
ourselves.
Frankly, this isn't our job.
The
dear.
ship gets here probably about an hour
Listen,
ago. The
We have
guards
no
take
evidence.
2
We have the
weeks.
hearsay of Dalbor's friend.
No, the facts seem to check out. However, I would be all for going to the guards if we weren't so pressed for time. And I would even say, even being pressed for time, we should just go to the guards. But this is also a loose end from something I'm investigating personally for my family. I think if anyone has the right to just act, it would be us.
We can talk to the guards at the docks when we're there. We're wasting time.
Agreed.
Even I can see that.
We should
Alright, let's go.
probably go.
Karen
Do we
goes to
have
grab
any-
her things and just
Do
leave.
we have any idea of who this creature is attacking? Do we have any knowledge at all, other than the
Not
fact
yet.
that they may be going onto an airship?
Right, get
No.
your swords.
We don't.
It is a
Do we have a course of action? Get your weapons. Course of action.
Sometimes you just have to react, Reich.
Not in my experience. Reacting is how you get killed. But
Not reacting is how you get killed.
I think he at that he just goes and collects his weapons.
I swear I'm going to kill him if he stops not reacting.
There is a small little
I
problem with
heard
this.
that.
I might not be able to get us onto the airship. I'm not technically allowed on them at the moment. But we'll
Oh,
figure that out when we get down
wait.
there. We'll figure that all out. Details.
Great.
Details.
I'm glad
Is
you
this
shared
like
that
how
with
I'm
us.
not technically allowed back at Aeronar?
Details.
You're not allowed back at.
I'm
We'll figure
assuming
it out.
it's the same
Anyway, yeah,
sort of
we
thing.
need to go. We need to
Exceptions
go.
will be made.
Yeah, we need to go.
Sounds
So-
like this is a very well thought out plan.
We don't have to act, but we can at least investigate.
I liked you better when you weren't talking so much, right?
You know that one of the locations is the docks. You know that. Where it is, you do not know. You're not familiar with where it is in the docks, but you're sure
the
you can
ship.
find out, no problem. Two, you do know where that shady location is. It's actually, so the section of the city that you're in, where your house is Dura. So it's actually like many levels up from where Stalbor's prior house was, which is way down, which is the same area that you were just at with. So it's actually, if you just went straight down, you'd already be near that shady area. As for the Bear's Den, you have no idea.
So, time-wise, to get from that shady area to the docks that we know of, how long would that take?
Because it's already night, right? And it's coming in
Right.
tonight. So
Can you do me a favor?
Yep.
Stalbor, you roll me intelligence check with advantage because you're kind of pulling all your thoughts together and your knowledge of the city.
yeah,
Cool.
15.
So you know that it would take longer to get to the docks from where you are now. However, not significantly longer, and it is significantly quicker to get to that shady area from where you are now.
So we
Oh,
can
and
go
don't
to the
forget,
shady
there's
area
another
and then
location that was a
docks.
warehouse too. The Crack Barrel.
Yeah,
warehouse. The warehouse, however, is going to likely be in the docks area or near it, not necessarily at the docks itself.
That's
So you're
typically
saying it'd be quicker to go to the shady area
it'd be more efficient.
and then the docks.
Yeah, it'd be more efficient.
Yeah, then
yes.
we might as well go that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
See if we can see anything anyway.
you sadly no longer have that crystal. It
Nope.
got you sacrificed it in a blaze of glory to give vengeance to what's her name, Odette. And don't worry, Ollie. I appreciate what Stalbor did. I think it's amazing how you sacrifice a powerful and expensive magic item worth like 16.5k to give justice to this amazing PC and the pain that they went through of losing their character. And so you will totally be rewarded with due justice. You totally be rewarded for all the wonderful things you did for Odette. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Okay.
All right, moving on. So, trying to get there is going to take significantly longer unless you choose to pay a sky cart. Your call.
We'd probably pay a sky cart times of the essence.
Yeah.
Okay, so you toss a gold, what's it, 15 silver or 1 gold, 5 silver to hop on a sky cart to get there. Once they realize exactly where, no, keep going. No, just until I say stop. You can tell that they're very apprehensive about continuing to go further down. And you can immediately tell that unless you want to grease their palms, they're not going to bring you all the way to where you want to be.
I'd probably.
You, sir, are useless. Come on, we're walking.
Okay, so you get out.
I'd just give them more money. I would give them 10 more gold.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would.
Right, you grab me and
That's a
give
lot
them
of
money. That's fine.
Yeah, no. I'll just grab Stalwart by the cuff and just like, here, keep going, please.
and you hand how much?
10 gold.
Wow.
Is that fine?
Okay. Amazing. He's
I would
Yeah.
give
yes,
them 1
please.
gold.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I was
you
gonna
know,
I mean, he
Keep
can
going.
wait, and then we
Let's
could go
just
to the
go
doctor.
as quickly as
like
possible.
this is gonna put my kid through college. You
Yeah.
know? So Bardic College. So they're making their way. You guys are making your way all the way to that location as quickly as you possibly can. And in getting down to the bottom and finding it, you get to the area where it is in fact a dark and shady looking place. However, it's actually not that bad. I mean, you're down here expecting like something gross, like bugbears and hobgoblins and stuff like that, or maybe like other rat-like races that exist inside the cogs. Now, hobgoblins in general are extremely, but I'm talking about the cog version. This is the dirty race, not the good ones. But actually, what you're finding down here is a group of, it might be exclusively dwarves.
Okay.
And I don't mean Dwarger or Darrow either. I mean dwarves.
Do
But
you want
not
to
as
ask
well
some
kept,
questions around before we
gross
leave?
clothing, maybe like beards inside dreadlocks due to
Can I do just a real quick perception, like glance over, ocular pat down kind of thing?
yeah, sure, go right ahead.
And this is. Okay.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Some
So-
things I don't want to see on those dwarves.
So you guys are let out of the sky cart, and because Erin gave it as much money as she did, what is it? Kieran gave as much money as she did. The guy actually stays and waits for you.
Nice.
So you guys go making your way towards the dwarfs. Do you say anything? Do anything? They kind of like look at you and take note of you, but kind of they'd ignore you. It's dark
No,
down
we're
here.
the
The air
suspicious
is
ones.
thick and gross.
It's dark. The
It's
air's
dark, so
thick.
it's
There's
hard
a
to
bunch of
see.
dwarves. They look at us.
There are no external lights whatsoever, so the human in the group is having a really hard time seeing. The
Yeah.
other three, not so much.
I'm gonna look at Ollie, or Stalbor, and just kind of give him like a nudge to go like with my head to go talk to the
Okay.
dwarves.
I'll go up to them, and I'll start speaking in Dwarven.
I understand it.
That's comes off as surprising. So as you go walking up to them,
It's a language that doesn't seem like it should come from an elf, but
Yeah.
he's surprisingly well versed in it. Like it actually is like coming naturally. Like he'd go over with a dwarven greeting, which is probably long and heroic, but
I imagine it's more than just a dwarven greeting. You'd come over with dwarven greeting in a perfect accent. Now, as to whether or not it's the same kind of accent that these dwarves use is a different story. But you would definitely come over with a perfect dwarven accent speaking their language as though it was an innate language to you, which is something that's very difficult for an elven mouth to form. It's very like back of the throat and whatnot.
yeah.
So you come over and you give that greeting. And
I would follow behind him.
immediately I'm going to allow you to roll me a persuasion check with an advantage just because you caught these guys off guard with who you are.
Sweet. I'll just start doing the basic sort of police, like have you seen anything strange? What's going on? How are you doing tonight? That sort of thing.
I do have to ask because I am also curious. Is that a fucking mimosa? What you
What?
drinking?
Me?
Yeah. Or is it like
It's
Tang?
just fucking orange juice.
Oh, well, mimosa's orange juice and champagne, so you know.
I could add gin if you want.
That sounds horrifying. Do
No.
not do that. Why would you put orange juice in your Christmas in your orange juice?
Oh, that
Ew.
sounds gross.
Christmas.
Yeah, gin tastes like Christmas. It's gross.
Juniper.
Yeah, it tastes like a
juniper.
pine tree.
It tastes like pine. Why would you add
Does, now you
pine
mention it.
and orange?
It's gross.
That's like brushing your teeth and drinking orange
Exactly.
juice. It's like it's just not good.
You just don't
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
just juice.
No,
Why are
no.
you judging me about drinking just orange juice?
You,
Yeah,
you
sipping on gin and juice.
anyways. Oh God. Gin and orange. Ugh. Okay, moving on.
It's not good.
Yeah, moving on. So sorry. With your 18 persuasion, you kind of come over and you catch them off guard with your big greeting and whatnot, and they're like, they literally are kind of like taken aback.
Yeah, just
Stoic dwarves taken aback, and one of them is like, "Oh, that's a surprise.
I get that a lot.
Who are you? What do you want?"
My name was Starboard Grace Ride, and we know of has anything strange happened here recently?
No,
We're
no.
So you usually stand around in the dark, not even talking to each other?
There was conversation before you came.
Quick,
What do you know?
go grab Svetlana.
Oh, this
What
is
do you know
my,
of-
this is my Russian accent.
Yeah, guess what it sounds like.
Oh no! That's just it's a weak accent, but I can do Russian.
I like it. I like the dwarven
Go ahead.
accent.
I get a better one for Wednesday.
What do you know of Dragon Teeth? The ship.
There's a ship named Dragon Teeth.
Can I do a quick little insight?
I would want to do an
What can
insight on
Luke
that
be
too,
doing
standing
inside
next to him.
while he's watching?
Go right ahead.
Alrighty. And I'd just like to say, I don't really roleplay all of it. I would just be asking like basic, like how are you questions, as well as being really pushy. You know, actually having a little bit of a conversation, but being quick about it.
We genuinely, to both of you, genuinely seems like he has no idea what it is.
All right. Well, time is of the essence, and I'd love to come back and have a conversation with you at some point. What was your name again?
It's Fugbrar.
Right, Fugbro. Well, I would love to come back and talk to you another time, but time is of the essence. We should go.
Did you ask him about the changeling?
Oh, yes. Have you seen a changeling around here? I know that's a very awkward question because you may have and don't know, but, you know. Do you know of one that operates in the area?
I've seen many changelings. We're in the cogs.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay,
What are you here
Thank you.
for? You here to buy things or just ask questions?
just questions. What do you sell?
If you just questions, then just questions it is.
Now you've color me intrigued.
Do you want powder?
Do I know what powder is? I did kind of live in this area. I feel like Salvo would know what powder is.
Well-
Powder.
He could be referring to two things. He could be referring to powder as one of the drugs, or dwarven powder.
Yeah, the dwarven powder that almost killed Luca.
Ah.
Either way, we need the powder.
How
Sorry,
much
Baron.
does it cost?
You don't
I'm
understand
very
them.
interested in this.
Does she speak dwarven?
Uh-huh. No, I don't.
Then get in your place, Aaron.
Get in your
Fine,
place,
fine. I'll
Aaron.
be quiet over here in the corner.
Yeah. Powder to sniff or powder to burn?
Burn. We don't sell those things here. You can't use that stuff when you're working dwarven powder. It'll...
Well, I
It'll-
guess you could sniff it, but I wouldn't recommend it.
How much for a sample?
Do you
Jangle
want?
point.
Do you want horn? Do you want barrel? Do you want crate?
Horn.
Do you want... A horn. Oh yes, yes, yes. 55 gold.
I pay 55 gold.
When you actually produce 55 gold pieces on the spot, he's kind of like taken aback by that,
Oh man.
and he's like, oh. And like looks at it, oh. Goes out back, grabs a horn that's full of like something that's dense and shifting around inside of it, and hands it to you. Almost feels like a sand.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. I'm just
You have to
maxing my
imagine
amount.
like a ram's horn that has like some sort of skin or whatever wrapped over one side and like entwined into it, and a cork in the other side.
Now, I would say to him, I know you've seen many changelings. Have any changelings bought in this powder from you recently?
We don't sell to those. It's illegal to do business with them. Oh, you speak Dwarven, don't you, Luca?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's been
I thought so.
naturally understanding everything.
So
yeah.
no, your accent is not anywhere near as good as his, but he's already been buttered up by his accent. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Plus,
he's like,
we just dropped 55 gold. I
yeah,
figured
of
that was
course.
time for me
He's
to
like,
speak.
yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. So he's like, illegal, not guards illegal. It's not okay by,
The code.
yeah, those that run the deep.
I'll nod to that.
Well, I think you
Understood.
may have dealt with one. But don't worry, I'll make sure it doesn't come back to bite you. Thank you, Fogborough. I will... Well, maybe I'll need more powder again in the future. I'll go back to the others, and then I'll sort of shake it at Kieran and Rank.
I just don't shake that.
Can we get more?
Kieran wants 2 barrels.
Okay.
She wants to
Another
rain
time.
barrels of
Listen.
dwarven powder down from above.
So when she realizes, so do you guys turn to her and say what it is? You turn, you shake it.
You
you
shake
turn,
it.
I shake it.
Yeah.
But then
Do you-
it's like, it's pretty... I don't know how obvious it is.
She
Frank
wouldn't
got
know
it.
what it is unless somebody told her.
I wouldn't
Yeah, I
expect
just
her.
shake
I
it.
didn't. I don't know that she doesn't know, so I would
I just shake it as
oh,
I get in
shit.
the sky cart.
Yeah.
I just
Get back to the sky
walk
cart.
past them and shaking. And just
Fine. What did you buy? What is that?
Dwarven exploding powder.
Can we get more?
Yeah.
Not with our
Are you
current
happy, Scott?
plans.
Why would we want more?
Maybe we
For
could become the
combat?
business toppling government.
Oh, aren't we going onto an airship? Would it not be unwise to take large amounts of explosive powder onto an airship?
It's
Unless
not
you're
a
an
large
assassin
outfit.
changeling.
I'll lean into Reich. You have to agree. There's always room for strategic escape.
Unless you're an assassin changeling who has, put, dwarven powder onto the ship with the intention of blowing it up.
What does powder to
In
do?
which case, it's a
Fair
great idea to do.
trust.
Yes.
Scott, you're not focused at all.
But
Whoa!
adding
There you go.
I'll fix it.
Okay.
And Kieran is more explosive than this powder ever wishes it could be. To the docks.
Thank you.
Bye.